Hello again. We are continuing our discussion on graphing linear functions. We're going to talk about zeros of linear functions and how to find them. So first, some definitions. I'm going to give you a list of terms and the definition for each one. So a linear function, linear comes from the word line. So any function that has a graph that looks like a line, that's a linear function. The parent function of any family is the simplest looking one out of every function in that family. So the linear function family has a parent function, the quadratic family of functions has a parent, and so every function has a parent function, and that's just the one that you can get to all the other ones in the family from by making adjustments and transformations to it. So that's what a family of graphs is. That's all the functions that are very similar. So the quadratics, the linear functions, exponential functions. We're going to talk about all of those as the year goes through, but just know that they are grouped into families. And the zero, or the root of any function, is any value of x that makes the function worth a total of 0, or any x that has a y value of 0 attached to it. So here's how we find those. It's really just two steps. We're going to set the function equal to 0, and we're going to solve for x. Okay, so starting off, we have a function of f of x equals 3x minus 6. So if I set 3x minus 6 equal to 0, the first thing I'm going to do to solve that is add 6 to both sides, and that's what it looks like. I can cross out those two 6's, the negative 6 plus 6. They cancel each other out, so 3x equals just 6. And if I divide both sides by 3, then I get those 3's cancel on the left, and I get 6 over 3 on the right, which is 2. So 2 is the only x that I could plug into that function and get 0 as my answer. And that's all you need to do. Here's another example. F of x equals 10/3 x minus 40. So step 1, set that equal to 0. Step 2, figure out what x is. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 3 simply because I don't like fractions. And if I have a 3 in the denominator, I'm going to multiply everything by that denominator. So what that gets me is 10x minus 120 equals 0. Okay, now it's easier to solve. I'll get the same solution, so it's okay. If I add 120 to both sides, I get 10x minus 120 plus 120 equals 0 plus 120. Those 120s, the negative 120 and the positive, cancel each other out, so I get 10x equals 120. Now I just need to divide both sides by 10. And the 10's cancel out on the left, giving me x equals 120 over 10, which is 12. So 12 is the only x that I could plug into that function and get 0 as my answer. Okay, and that is zeros of functions in a nutshell. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I will see you tomorrow.